Thanks a lot, Marianne. This morning we're talking to Mark Fox, and it's a DVD that you'll want to know about. It's called Hit Self-Defense, and while it's about self-defense, Mark, the important thing to note here is that it's about to avoid being attacked in the first place.
Exactly. The rule is if you look like a victim, you'll be like a victim. These people that are making these attacks are predators, and like a predator in the wild, they're going to select their prey based on their ability to commit the attack without getting caught and without getting hurt.
Right. Now, we're also at a time where we've got colleges are starting back into session in some cases, so this is very timely for parents to know, for especially their daughters who might be going to school, right?
Exactly. 1 in 6 women will be sexually assaulted. The victimization rates are 4 times more likely for girls and women under 24. And the problem is, at that age, we all think we're invincible.
Right.
So they tend not to take the risk reduction strategies that we want them to take to avoid an attack.
Well, let's start with the most important thing, Mark, and that's not being targeted in the first place. What can women do to avoid being targeted?
Well, in their homes, locking their doors, keeping window coverings closed, not advertising themselves as single. So in their answering machine and their nameplate on their apartments, etc. When they're out and about, they're aware of their surroundings. Awareness is really the key. Their head's on a swivel, they're looking around, they're keeping a survival space between them and potential assailants, maybe using obstacles and barriers. Big thing is no texting, no headphones on when they're walking along.
Good advice.
Avoiding isolated areas whenever possible.
And these are the little tidbits that they're going to learn in this DVD, too.
Exactly.
Things they need to know.
And then picking up some of the warning signs. You know, what are some of the warning signs when an attack is pending?
Okay, let's bring Megan in here because you're going to demonstrate some of the attacks, just a few of them that we'll see in the DVD, correct?
Exactly. These are worst case scenarios. If they can avoid the risk, but in a worst case scenario, they need to know something that they can do physically to survive that attack. And
Sure.
Really, it's all about violence of action. So we'll bring Megan in. We'll talk about it like an attempted abduction from the rear.
Okay.
If she doesn't see me coming, my goal as an abductor is to try to pick her and take her from that area. So she's going to set her weight to get heavy, and then she's simply going to put weapons to targets, in this case, elbows into face, and then she's escaping at the first opportunity. As I mentioned, it's all about violence of action, putting weapons to targets. Closest weapon, closest target. Most important targets are the eyes and the groin. Just think of going for the marbles.
And like anything, there's just a few basics, it seems, that a woman would need to know to really get a grasp of this whole program.
Exactly. If I can't get close enough to attack her, then she's safe.
Right.
And so part of that is maintaining a survival space. If she has a space and I attempt to attack her, she's simply going to get off the line of attack to avoid it in the first place. So if we have this survival space, she doesn't want to look like a victim. She's going to get in a stance that basically says, you know what, you're going to get something on the way in. If I come after her, she's simply going to step off the line of attack, push me, and then move to a place of safety as quick as she can.
And again, these are just a couple of the many techniques that they'll learn on this DVD.
Exactly. When we talk about myths versus realities, we talk about property crime versus crimes against persons. We look at acquaintance rapes versus stranger rapes, some of the myths and realities, and some of the precursors to those as well.
Great program. All right, the DVD is called Hit Self-Defense. You can go to hitselfdefense.com to find more about it. Mark Fox, thank you.
Thank you
Appreciate
very much.
Megan, thanks for coming out this morning.
Thanks a lot.
All right, let's get over to Whitney now with another look at the weather. Hey, Whitney.